Hey everyone, it's Alana Yvonne. Just wanted to record a quick message before Shabbat, the Sabbath, comes in. There's a lot going on at this time, I don't need to say. And as I shared in a post earlier this week, I'm changing in ways I don't even know the focus of the work I do, who I serve, how I serve. But I wanted to just put this recording out there for anyone who might be interested or could get a little chizuk. Chizuk is the Hebrew word for strength, related to the word for strength. Chizuk is like a strengthening thing. So I wanted to talk what I had originally planned in the original series I was doing, to talk about different structures, forms, ways of being reminded of the strengths that we have. And I'll just speak generally, but also specifically about that. It's important that we surround ourselves with things that strengthen us. It's important that we surround ourselves with people that strengthen us. It's important that we listen to things that are more high vibe, they're higher frequency, they are more positive. We are not talking Pollyanna. If you listen to any of the other recordings I've done, you know I do not advocate what we call toxic positivity, and especially now, that is absolutely not what I'm talking about. But there's a difference between toxic positivity and head in the sand and hope. There's a difference between nothing to see here, everything's rainbows, and hope in the darkest of times. And what I wanted to share is just, ask yourself, what do you surround yourself with when things are dark for you, on a national level, on a personal level, on a spiritual level, on a physical level, on a financial level, whatever level you're experiencing difficulty right now. What is it that you're surrounding yourself with, and who are you surrounding yourself with to help strengthen you? And if you're someone, like many of us moms are, who has been always focused on the other and always focused on who needs my help and how is everyone else doing, and deferring and denying and ignoring your own needs, you're going to deplete really fast, especially now. Because even if you're not Jewish, and even if you're not Israeli, and even if you're not impacted directly with what's going on, the world is shifting. I totally believe that. Things are cracking open in ways that we don't even know. So our structures, our belief systems, our open-mindedness, and the things that we surround ourselves with and take in and put out are more important than ever before. So I wanted to share just briefly some of the things that I have, and I invite you to look at what you have, because you have. 100% you have. And the question is, are you aware of it? Are you mindful of it? Are you awake to it? And are you using it? And can you look at it, and can you reframe maybe what is around you in order for it to be a strength? So the first thing I wanted to share, which you might have seen in some of the other videos, is this is a necklace that I've been wearing for 15 years. This is a ancient coin from Israel, from the land of Israel. It is around 2,000 years old. It is from the time of the revolt of the Jews against the Roman Empire. And you can't see it here, but what's imprinted on it is some symbolism related to different things in the land of Israel, and then the temple, like a grape vine and some other things. And then the words actually imprinted on here is that it was like coined in the year 2 of the revolt. Okay, so if you go do a quick search, like, this is the revolt of the Jews against the Roman Empire. Okay, around 2,000 years ago. And coins like this were found throughout Israel. A lot of them were found on Masada. If you know the story of Masada, if you have 8 hours to spare, there's a mini-series that was made with Peter O'Toole in 1981, which tells the story of Masada. Or if you want to read the history of it, it's out there as well. But in any case, I have worn this necklace almost every day for the last 15 years. And it serves as a physical reminder of what my people have gone through. And the fact that we have been around for thousands of years, literally, and that we have been through extremely dark times, unfortunately, for reasons I still can't really wrap my head around, except for to say, we're here for a reason. If you're alive nowadays, in these days, you're here for a reason. And the question is, what do you do with the time you have? Okay, to loosely paraphrase Gandalf. Because I do that. I go to pop culture, and that's from Lord of the Rings. And if you can't really like handle the news right now, and do not watch videos, please, I'm begging of you, please, it will scar you. But if you can come at these ideas of good and evil, of truth and lie, of falsehood, of light and dark, if you haven't seen the trilogy by Peter Jackson, his interpretation of the Lord of the Rings, go watch it. Go watch it. Really powerful. That first one came out a couple months after 9/11 happened, which shocked me to my core. I used to work in Building 4 and Tower 1. I was not there at the time. I was living elsewhere at the time, but I lived in those buildings. I worked on the 86th floor, and that was the only shock I think that America has had on our land here in the States. But in any case, that movie, you know, it was just like the timing was nuts. So structure, what movies are you watching? What music are you listening to? What is it filling you with? Is it giving you strength? Okay, so back to the necklace. I've heard from a lot of my Christian friends, and I love you and I thank you, and I know that everyone has opinions about what this war is and what is really going on. If you're a Christian who wears a cross, are you leaning into that for strength? Okay? And if you're a Christian who is like lowercase c Christian, like not really believing, is this a time for you to reevaluate your faith? It's just a question. Everyone has to do what's right for them. Everyone has their own issues with the idea of God, with the idea of spirituality, with the idea of everything. But if you can lean in to your faith, if you can anchor into an idea of faith, if you can be open to the idea, and no one says it's either or. No one says it's yes or, like, it's not a black and white situation. Okay? I don't know if I shared this already, but Yisrael, Israel, okay? That literally means wrestling with God. Yisra is to wrestle, and El is God. So the nation of Israel is wrestling with God, and we do that on a personal level, on an individual level, and on a national communal level. It's intense. So even if you're not in Israel right now, if you know a Jewish family, never mind an Israeli family, it is impacted. So how are you leaning into your belief and your faith, and what structures do you have that you can anchor into? Okay. So the other thing is, I'm not wearing them now, but bracelets. And one of the bracelets I have, and I see this all over because people who follow the Bible, there's a lot of stuff out there. So I have mugs with Bible quotes. I have bracelets with Bible quotes. I have things all over my house. I have chamsas. I have my mezuzot, and I've got things. Mezuzah is the scroll that's on every door, and that is a spiritual protection system for your house. So the other thing is just, what are you surrounding yourself with? What are you listening to? I've told my kids, like, no more violence in the movies for now. Like, we're not going to watch that on movie night. You know, what kind of music are you listening to? Is it jarring? So, you know, death metal, probably not a good choice right now. Okay, there are things that have happened in the real world that, you know, we used to think is just like fantasy or fake or not real, or people don't do that, but lines have been crossed. So what do you have to help you anchor in? Okay, so that's the people, that is, you know, your jewelry, the things around your house, prayers if you pray, beliefs, breathing, you know, meditation, whatever works for you. But it's so important, even if you are not directly related to anyone Jewish or anyone Israeli, anything going on in the world right now, in that area of the world, just the energy is quite bananas. So anything you can do to regulate yourself, please do it, and wishing you all the best.